in the World is supported in part by the World Affairs Council of Greater Reading.
Mike Sutton here, live. It's Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. on May 7th, and we're here for the show, World Affairs Council of Greater Reading's What in the World show. Awesome guests in studio tonight. You know I love having guests in the studio, and this is set up by, a couple months ago we had Sylvia in to talk about the Academic World Quest program. That event has taken place, and I have the winning team here with me, welcoming back Oley High School's World Quest team for the second year in a row. A long string of victories for your team. John Small is the advisor for the club, keeps things going, runs this dynasty. Thanks for coming back, John.
Well, you said second year in a row.
So, second year with me hosting in a row.
Okay.
How many years have you been doing this?
I've been doing it close to 15 years.
Okay.
And World Quest has been going on for 17.
So before that, so you were meeting with Sherry on the show.
Before that was Sherry.
Okay.
Mike McCarthy drafted me
All right.
to be the World Quest advisor.
Yeah. Mike's still a board member.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
active.
Yes. He's very persuasive.
And you brought the whole team with you, or a good part of the team?
Yes.
These are the everybody here was down in DC last week.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you guys won for the 7th time, 8th time.
This is the 6th consecutive time, 9th total time.
Winning Reading's Academic World Quest competition,
Academic,
and then
yes.
going to Washington D.C., which is what we're going to talk about tonight. Who's the head of the club here tonight?
He's our Secretary
Gabe.
General.
So Gabe, would you like to introduce yourself and the rest of your team?
Okay, so I'm Gabriel Trossi. I'm the Secretary General of World Quest.
And then I am Brandon Osterley, and I am the Secretary of World Quest, basically Vice President.
I'm Erin Dillon. I am the Treasurer of World Quest.
And I'm Emmett Denton. That's it.
And you're all seniors this year at Oley High
Yes.
School. All have plans for college. All were down in D.C. I don't know. I guess the thing that I'm most curious about, because we've had Sylvia in, and she's shared some of the questions. The questions are like really hard. So first of all, I have a lot of respect for you guys doing so well. Not only doing so well, but to John for doing so well repeatedly with these teams. I guess the first thing I want to know is, like, what else do you do? Right? So Gabe, when you're not, this has got to be a pretty time-consuming activity. So when
Yeah.
you're not getting ready for this competition, what are your other hobbies or
Well,
activities?
I'm in my high school's orchestra. I play violin.
Okay.
And I'm also in my school's chess club.
All right. So you do find some time for other activities.
Yeah.
Brandon?
Well, I must admit that World Quest is my main school activity,
Okay.
but as I'm majoring in computer engineering, I also enjoy a lot of programming and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And I've been
yeah.
working on a project in school. It's like a mold detector
Okay.
as my senior design project.
How much time do you think you spend studying for World Quest?
You know, I had a study hall that I mainly dedicated as my World Quest study period, and that really helped to
Okay.
time manage for that.
All right. And Emmett, you mentioned theater.
Yeah. I am a member of our drama club doing mainly musicals, but also the plays. I am a tenor in our select chorus, in our normal chorus, and also in county chorus and district chorus. I'm a very musical person after all. I'm alongside that a member of our Reading Olympics team. I do pottery club and have previously done music technology and journalism.
So lots of free time, it sounds like.
I'm a jack of all trades.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. Aaron, what you got?
I'm a member of our marching band. I perform with the color guard. I am also a member of the chorus, chess club, and Reading Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
But I mostly dedicate a lot of this year to World Quest.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And all lined up to go to college. John, you were telling me before we came in, your students that you've had through this program before have gone on to do pretty impressive things. When you're bringing students into the program, what are you really hoping to get out of it?
What I'm hoping to see them get out of it is one, fun and friendship. That you build a very tight friendship network and bonding through, well, let's call it what it is, the misery of going through some of the topics and great decisions. For example, the World Affairs Council just sighed at me, and I'll probably hear about this tomorrow at the luncheon. But through this friendship and fellowship, that they find their niche in how to study effectively. And through a study-intensive club like WorldQuest, they find their study skills. They find what the best way is to retain obscure information.
Yeah, so I don't know who wants to answer this, but do you feel like you come into the club with pretty good study skills, or do you feel like that's something you really picked up along the way?
I didn't. That's for sure for me.
Okay. What got you interested in the first place, Emmett?
My older sister,
Okay.
she was a member of WorldQuest last year. She was actually the president. And she's been a huge inspiration for a lot of my activities that I've been a part of. And she definitely brought upon me an interest in the world.
Great. And we can see the image here of this year's competition here in Reading. If we can show that from the laptop. I don't know if we can see your team in here specifically. Any standout moments from the local competition, Gabe? Favorite questions, drama?
Well, this year in the local competition, we did have a tie, so it did make it more suspenseful.
Okay. For first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the tiebreaker? What kicked it over the top for you?
Well, we had 10 separate questions for the tiebreaker.
10 additional questions after the full round?
Yeah.
Yeah, they pull
Yeah.
one from each topic.
Wow. How close did it come down even in the tiebreaker?
That I don't know. He might know.
He might know.
Sylvia did not share that with me.
Okay, you don't get the scoring, you just get the final placement.
Yeah.
But it was a nail biter. High
Right.
drama. Excellent. So if you think, Brandon, about your how many years have you been doing this?
Well, I've been in WorldQuest. This is my 3rd year.
All right, so what stands out to you as like the big moment
In this competition?
in your experience with the WorldQuest, the entire club?
Well, I think just getting the opportunity to compete for nationals 3 times and compete in the local competition 3 times and winning all 3 times, I think that was pretty great and gave me a sense of accomplishment, I guess.
Yeah, excellent. And my interest in world affairs is recreational, right? I just find the topics interesting. I like to follow politics. I like to follow economics. And so I think of the World Affairs Council as something that's just really interesting to me. Maybe, Aaron, you're going to study science,
Yeah.
drug research. How do you see this experience and this interest in world affairs playing in, what role do you see that in your life moving forward?
Well, I think, like drug research and drug development is such an important topic around the world. One of the great decision topics I had to study with this year was global health. And a lot of it was talking about how we don't spend enough money on drug research and development, finding new drugs, but it also talked a lot about the international programs we have throughout the world to supply drugs to countries who need them, like how we supply the malaria protection to Africa, how oral rehydration therapy is used across the world. And I just think that it kind of coincides with politics because you can't really have a world if everybody's sick.
So you're going to be looking at funding and where the needs are, and that'll carry over very well. I like it. So in terms of this World Quest experience, was there like what I wanted like either a funny moment or something that stands out? Like what really like if you think of your experience in World Quest, this is a positive memory for you, right? So who's got a moment that really stands out? Have at it, Aaron.
I do. Okay, so this was our recent trip to DC. It was Friday, and we had just gotten done at the Qatari American Institute where we got to socialize with all the other teams. So first off, what stood out was the fact that we got to meet all these other kids from around the world, and a lot of them will have the same interests you do, or at least they have the same, a larger base of knowledge. So you can always have a smart conversation and have really good discussions. So we got to make some friends with from people from different states. But the other thing was, on our way to dinner, we ended up getting lost and leave it to the Oley Valley team to get lost in D.C. and end up on the right in front of the U.S. Capitol building. And we got to walk past the Capitol building. We got a lot of great photos, I think, because we were all posing. And the security guards there were very nice. We waved to them. They waved back. Some even said hello. It was just a really funny thing to remember.
Yeah, is friendly the word that you would use, John?
Well, at least one of the guards was probably bored enough that he was friendly.
All right. Well, we had some trouble with the laptop, but we do have the image. So let's see that World Quest from this year. This is the local competition. We have a couple pictures from the national competition. Nice. This is the same venue where you've had it for a couple years, correct?
No, it actually rotates around colleges around Berks County each year. My first year, so 2 years ago, it was Kutztown. Last year it was Rack, and then this year was Albright.
Okay. Any preference?
I think I might have actually liked Albright the best.
All right, you've been around to a lot of them. Let's see. So this is the winning picture. This is, I assume, the first place trophy at the local competition, and then y'all got to go down to DC. How long ago were you down in DC?
About 2 weeks.
I believe it
2
was
weeks ago?
2 weekends.
Yeah.
Okay, so still pretty fresh. And is this the entire team here? You had
Yep.
traveled
Yeah.
with what, seven students? It looks like.
It was 8 students.
Yeah,
Eight?
8.
Hey,
Yep, there's 8 in the picture. Yeah.
This was from when we got lost up at the Capitol building.
Oh, okay, okay. So the guards are waiting for you to leave in the background there someplace.
Yeah.
yeah.
Other high points from the trip? 5th place finish overall. I think I have a picture of the event. And my understanding is, do you each specialize in a particular topic?
Well, we actually each take 2 topics up because there are
Okay.
8 topics, and we divide them for 2 each. And
All
also
right.
the Great Decisions. There's 8 Great Decisions articles. We each read 2 of them.
Related to the same topics, or
Sometimes
set on
yes,
their own?
sometimes not. It depends on whatever they put out in Great Decisions that year. But
And how do you get your topic assignments?
Well, we kind of choose it amongst ourselves. Like some of us have different interests. So we feel like if we choose topics that coincide with our interests, our whole team would do better then.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your topics, Gabe?
Mine was how to deal with North Korea and the World Trade Organization.
Okay. North Korea is kind of a big topic, testing missiles again.
Yeah.
How do you deal with North Korea? Like, what's your sense? Is this something that you follow on your own now that the contest is over? How much do you feel like you stay plugged into that?
I mean, I watch the news every day, so like I have considerable knowledge on like the issue of North Korea.
Okay. How do you see where we are right now playing out? There's talk that it could be a measured provocation. There's some apparent recklessness. Like how do you see it?
Well, I mean, like for the past decade, we always thought that North Korea is going to give up its nuclear weapons, but they don't. So it's just a cycle that keeps on repeating.
So many topics, very interesting. What are your topics, Emmett?
My main topics were bridging divides to build peace and global refugee and migration crisis.
Oh boy,
So those were very loaded topics.
definitely. Were all of them that heavy? What was?
kind of varied. The North Korea topic was one of the easier topics, I think, and definitely the global refugees was one of the harder topics.
What was the toughest question you had to? Well, you were an alternate here for the
For the national competition, I was an alternate.
And you were competing in the...
A member of the core team for the local
Excellent.
Competition.
So what was one of the toughest questions you got?
It was a lot. Global Refugee was very stat heavy. And so it was a memorization of various things for various different organizations. And so it was definitely a combination of having to remember specific stats, but only for specific groups, remembering the acronyms of certain groups and the dates that certain groups were created, because there were so many there.
So you've got that photographic memory to really lock it all in?
I tried.
Is there much collaboration on certain questions, or do you find that most of the questions fall within your specialty?
Well, in previous years, there was some collaboration in a lot of the topics. Not this year, a little less so. We kind of took a more of an individual approach.
Okay.
So there wasn't a whole lot of collaboration, unless we got to current events. That usually is a collaborative topic, because we kind of leave that one as a hit or miss.
But yeah, we still kind of work together a lot, though. I mean, if you didn't know, if you were could limit the question down to maybe two answers, a lot of the time what you would do is you'd look it over and you discuss it with your team in the 30-second time frame they'd give you, and then after that, based off their opinions, you'd select which answer you thought was right. So there was still some teamwork, but we did try to kind of keep it individual, so we didn't have to stress about anything else besides our own topics.
At the national competition, I felt there was very little need for that kind of thing. We mostly just knew the answer and picked the right one.
Yeah.
So how does that play out in preparation? I mean, it's a team activity. There are skills that you have to learn individually. There is the way that you work together as a group. What does the club time end up looking like? Is it everybody studying individually? Is there a lot of skills practice? What's that end up looking like for you?
It depends on the time of the year, actually, because for the first, I'd say 1/3 of the year for our practice time, we develop presentations depending on your subject. And then based on that, we have a competition to see who is going to be on the core team, who are going to be alternates, and so on and so forth. And then after that, we take weekly tests, which are shorter versions of what you can expect at the local competition and the national competition afterwards.
Awesome. Love it, guys. All right, I'm going to take a minute to talk about some of the events that we've got coming up at the World Affairs Council. Then I'm going to come back if we have some extra time at the end, and I'm going to ask you each, what are you most looking forward to at college? This is something I'm going through with my son right now. He's also getting ready to go to college. I'll go to the laptop. The World Affairs Council recently chose its winners of the Alan Miller Esquire Memorial Scholarship Fund. We gave $4,000 to 5 students. Emma Hoppler had been on the program before from Wyomissing High School, Emma Worley, and Carla Santillan from Wyomissing High School, also Gabriel Pfister from Hamburg High School, and Elizabeth Hefner from Schuylkill Valley High School. Those students are going to be recognized at our luncheon tomorrow, which I'm going to come back to in just a minute. But before that, I will also plug the Pub Global Trivia Challenge, modeled after World Quest. We had a naming conflict. This is what we settled on. And this is actually the event that funds the Alan Miller Esquire Scholarship Fund. So this is a fun event. The questions are a little bit easier than you guys are probably used to, but if you wanted to get together the $250 and enter a team, I'm sure you would clean up. Although it is at the, where is it? I'm going blank on it. Canal Street Pub. So I don't know if we can get everybody in there, but fun event. So stay together, keep the core group tight, and then you can come and compete. Tomorrow we are having lunch at the Inn at Reading with Sherry Berman, going to talk about democracy and dictatorship in Europe. Her book of the same title was recently reviewed in the New York Times. Excellent book. We're going to have a good presentation by her tomorrow. That's sponsored by Dr. and Mrs. Escuedo, also board members, I believe. And then next Wednesday, on the 15th, we'll be at the Wyomissing Restaurant and Bakery hearing about cryptocurrencies from Farhad Saburi, which is a topic that kind of slowly simmered for a long time and then exploded, and now you don't hear as much about it anymore, but I'm sure that'll be an interesting topic. If you're in engineering, computer science, I'm sure that'll come up. And then we'll jump out to this. I think this is our last event of this programming year, if I'm correct here. Wednesday, June 12th, Terror finance, the war behind the war on terror. That should be an interesting topic, and that'll be a lunch event back at the Inn at Reading. All right, so what are you most looking forward to at college? Aaron, what do you got?
I'm looking forward to the college experience. I want to see how I'm going to be able to handle life on my own after I move out from my parents. I'm looking forward to making all new friends, getting new classes, taking classes that are specifically tailored to my interests.
Where are you going?
Kutztown University.
Okay.
Really also looking forward to hopefully joining some clubs there.
Excellent. Stay busy. Something world affairs related.
Maybe.
Or maybe have a break. Brandon?
Well, for me, it's going to be pretty much a new start because I'm going to be living in Philly, which is a pretty big difference from Oley. And
Yeah.
I'll be living in the city, and I'm actually going for 5 years since Drexel they have to integrate 3 co-ops into their education system so that you stay there for 5 years instead of 4 years. And I'm going to be studying computer engineering there, and I think I'm just looking forward to a new experience.
Been out to the campus, ready for that big city environment?
Yes.
All right, cool. Gabe?
Well, I'll be attending Penn State University, Berks campus, and I'm going for a major in physics. So I think what I'm most excited for is just to learn about my major more, and take class that I'm especially interested in.
Physics was my hardest class when I went to the University of Delaware. I did more homework for that class than anything else, but it's a fun topic. I loved it. Emmett, where are you headed?
Well, I'm going to Westchester University with a major in psychology. And my most exciting thing that I'm really, really ready for is meeting new people. I'm excited to meet people from different walks of life that I've never seen before.
And John, you're losing all these students next year and getting ready to start over again.
Right.
All right, here we go. Now you do have you said a sophomore who's going to be, I guess, the anchor of the rebuild here.
And there are some other sophomores and juniors that are floating around.
Awesome. Well, maybe we'll get a chance to have you back here again next year, or maybe we'll see another team, but thanks for coming out tonight, guys. Really enjoyed it. Congratulations on the win and the trip down to D.C. Good luck at college, and thanks for watching the show. We'll be back here again next month.
What in the World is supported in part by the World Affairs Council of Greater Reading.